name. But I said something like, "Oh, let's fill in the blank. Hey, John. So that was something, huh?" He was like, "My name is not, you know."
Oh my God.
He called me the wrong name. That's not
No.
my name. So I just thought from that initial um, interaction that okay, this is going to be rough. That
Mm.
was yeah. So that was
Hmm.
interesting. But that night we actually ended up meeting up with his cousins who are local. They were very, very nice. We had dinner, really, really sweet people. And then we went to so all the castmates said that they were going to meet up, or a lot of them, at a local comedy show
Oh,
because one
nice.
of the other women on the show is a comedian and she was going to be performing that night. So the plan was to meet up there. And I don't know if you would consider this our first date, but we said we'll meet there. Unfortunately, that the night didn't go too smoothly, and I thought it was because I started off calling him the wrong name. I don't know, Jeff, if you want to say anything about that, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll just tell you from my perspective, the way the rest of the night went. We got to the ticket counter, and Jeffrey offered to buy my ticket, which I thought was really nice. But then when they said the total, I, to me, he seemed a little ticked off because it was a little expensive. So
Uh,
he bought the ticket. We walked up to the entry point, and then when we got there, I realized I actually had a free ticket. So
oh
then
my
he
goodness.
he was really, it just when I tell you like the escalation of just awkward moments. So then, I was telling him, well, you could get a refund, for my ticket, and he just said, no, never mind. But he seemed a little bit aggravated, the rest of the
Okay.
night.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I was. And then,
Okay.
we were waiting for the rest of the people to come in. I just kept saying, well, we can talk and, you know, uh, try to get to know each other. But he seemed to be,
A
more
little over it.
comfortable, maybe with more people around, or slash
Oh.
aggravated because I called him the wrong name and cost him, a ticket that he didn't have to buy.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's hear about this lead up from your point, Jeffrey.
Yeah, so that's the first night. I think she'll get back to telling you about the other dates, but
Uh-huh.
um, I tried to explain to her like, no, I'm not upset. I'm not mad. So I'm just the type of person that like everything has a cost and we got to pay for it. But if I don't think it's worth that, I really don't want to pay for it, even if I
Okay.
like it. That's how I felt about them tickets. I still remember the exact total of them tickets. I thought they
Well,
cost too
what
much.
was the total? I have to
It
know.
was
Tell
like
me,
it was
please.
like 41.17.
Okay.
Just thought it cost too much, Arlette. So I was like, fine, I'll buy the ticket. It wasn't buying the tickets. That's what you do when you take a lady out, you meet them, you just guys, we just know we're gonna pay for stuff. And
Right.
so, yeah, but I wasn't upset or anything. I didn't even know she called me the wrong name until like maybe like a week later when I
Oh.
asked her about it. I'm like, because the part she left out is here's how she got my name, Arlette.
Uh-oh.
She said, what's your phone number and email address? And that's how she figured out my name was not John or Tyler or whatever she said. So yeah, all the rest of what she said is pretty accurate. But yeah, so that was the first date. There was like a few more dates, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I don't consider that first night a date
Okay, well,
Okay. So then
because
tell me the first real
because
date then.
okay, so the first. And by the way, he kept repeating the price of the tickets. Like, dang, that was,
yeah, they,
$82
40.
and 30, however much it was. He was putting the cents in it. Anyway, the first date, I actually wanted to meet in a different city just because I wasn't sure if I felt so comfortable, with him kind of coming to my territory, so to speak. But,
Okay.
I thought, well, we met and, okay, why not?
Are you guys in the same
With the,
state
no, he's in Georgia
in Georgia and you're in
and
what
I'm in
state? Oh, okay. Okay.
Louisiana. Yeah.
Mm.
But, with the appropriate guardrails, I did feel comfortable. So when I told my family, I met Jeffrey, we're going to go on a date. My mother had him send a copy of his license plate, and he sent his passport too, like for good measure, pick me up. So I felt comfortable after that. But he actually drove to Louisiana from Georgia.
Wow.
And he remembered that I love sports, especially live sports. So we went to an NBA game. That was our first date.
Ooh, that's so fun. Jeffrey, how long was that
Great.
drive?
Oh, I only live 5.5 hours from her, so it was a really easy drive. Yeah, I didn't have any issues. I'm glad we went to an NBA game. I haven't been to the Pelicans stadium since they built it, so that was cool.
Oh,
Yeah, but tell her
okay.
what you said about the seats.
What did I say?
You remember? Okay, so the seats
Uh-uh.
were really good. They were very close. And I
Ooh.
said, once we got to our seats, I said, "Oh, thank you. These are really nice seats." And he said, "Yeah, I figured, you kind of low key bougie, so you need some good
Oh,
seats."
Yeah, yeah,
she's a doctor.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But I did appreciate those good seats. I did.
We were like in the 14th row.
It was good.
Whoa, you guys
Yeah.
can touch the ball if you wanted
Yeah, we
to.
had
That's
really good
great.
seats.
And we had a great time. I had a really fun time at the game. The funniest part of the night is as we were walking to the stadium, um, as we were encountering people, Jeffrey was like,
Oh,
"Hey, do you watch Pop the Balloon?
watch Pop the Balloon. Yeah,
This
watch.
is what's going on now." It
Go
was
watch the
really,
show. Yeah,
it was fun. There were several people who were really just engaged in that whole thing and just rooting us on, and it was fun.
Good. Okay. Good job, Jeffrey. That was a good first date.
I try to do my best.
And then after that, we went to have dinner, right?
Yep,
We went to have dinner at a really cool spot. And I think that was the tacos, and
taco and beer.
it's called Taco and Beer, but neither one of us drink. So, we just had tacos. That's another
Nice.
thing. So the first night I met, after I called him the wrong name, the first night that we met up, he gave me his dossier. He said, "I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't whip my kids." I was like, "All right."
And I don't play video games.
And I don't play video games. Yeah.
Check,
But
check,
that was our
check.
first.
So that was the first date, Arlette. The second date
Uh-huh.
was, I guess, the next day. We did like a tour of the city,
Oh,
and then
nice.
we went to a sushi restaurant,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I'll let her tell you about the third time that we met a couple
Well,
weeks
how
ago.
long were you in her town
So
when you drove
I
out there?
I stayed there, what, 3 or 4 days,
The first time,
or was it 2 to 3 days?
2 to 3 days.
2 3
Multiple
days.
times.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a perfect gentleman.
Oh,
Perfect gentleman.
And then I
love
went
that.
back since that second date. Paulette, you want to pick that up and tell the people?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to remember exactly how this transpired. Alrighty. So one night I was driving somewhere at night, and he said, "Hey, we should exchange numbers of, important people in our life, but and just in case something happens to you." So I gave him my mother's number. He gave me his father's number. Now, I did not know he was going to use my mother's number, but
Oh,
apparently he did call her and they discussed some things. And that night, my mother kept saying, "Make sure you look really nice when you go to work tomorrow." And now this was a
oh,
Friday, and I was thinking, it's Friday, it's the end of the week. I'm gonna look how I look. I just completely ignored her. But I got to work, and Jeffrey called and he said, "Hey, he texted me and he asked me when I was going to lunch. And my day was really hectic that day, but I kept saying, I'm not going to skip lunch. Okay, I'm going to go at 12:30. So I told him I'm going to go at 12:30. And at 12:30, the front desk called to me and said, "Hey, someone's here to visit. Someone's here for you." So he came and he drove from Georgia and took me to lunch.
oh my
So
goodness.
that was technically our third date. And he had arranged this with my mother, so he knew where to go, and he brought me
Oh,
beautiful flowers and a beautiful plant from my office, and it was really special.
wow.
Yeah.
I love the intentionality. That is so awesome.
And we for that lunch date we went to a ramen place because
Ramen.
I love ramen, and he remembered that.
Oh,
And yeah,
wow.
that was
Oh,
that was wonderful. And then that was it. Like I said, perfect gentleman. You know, he said, I don't expect anything of you. I know you have a long day. You have the rest of your day to finish. I just want to make sure you ate. And
oh,
Yeah, that was like
oh
last
my
week,
goodness. So it was
Friday
last
before
week.
this
Okay.
the Friday before this past
about two
Friday.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was the last time you guys saw each other in person.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Any plans for you, Paulette, to go see him?
I've been invited, quasi invited.
Okay. Are you gonna
But
take the invitation or?
it's still evolving.
Okay. Okay.
It's evolving. But I would like to see him, to see his life and to interact in his world. I think that is important. And but in the meantime, I have talked to people that he loves, just acclimate myself to him a little bit more. I've talked to his brother, I've talked to his father, cousin,
Oh,
and
so
of
the
course
whole
the cousins
family.
that are there on night one. So,
Yeah.
but I think the goal is yes, I'll get to his city and we'll spend some time there.
Okay. So Jeffrey, how would you say the communication has been between the two of you?
Oh man, I think communication has been wonderful.
Okay.
Sometimes in some instances we even over communicate just to make sure that to be clear, we do that. But communication, I think we've talked or text every day since the show, since we
Wow.
taped. Um, yeah, so it's been really good, and yeah, I don't have any issues with it.
Okay. Okay. And where do you see this like leading? I'll transfer this question over to Paulette too, but I want to hear from Jeffrey.
Um, I see it going as far as as far as we want it to go, and
Okay.
it can lead all the way to pop the balloon theme wedding if that's what we want. So it can go as far as we want. So far it's been really good. Paulette's like magical. He's just an awesome
Oh,
person.
wow. Paulette, what about for yourself? Do you
You.
feel like it's leading in the direction of where you might see more, or how's it looking for you?
What I would say regarding Jeffrey is he is so purposeful and he communicates so well that I can only see good things ahead. He's very easy to talk to. He makes me feel very comfortable. He doesn't put any pressure on me at all. He's very understanding and really relaxed. He's so relaxed to sometimes I'm like, hey, you all right? I'm just like, are you sure you're okay? You know, um, so I think because of his personality and particularly the way he interacts with me, that there are really good things ahead. He's definitely the type of person that I would like to be with for long term.
Oh my goodness.
And the reason that to me that's very significant because the main thing I had a big question mark on was our age difference. But I haven't even thought about that
What's
honestly
the age
since
difference?
Like
I
three
gotta know
years.
now. You brought it up.
It's like 3 years and three
4 years.
months.
4 years.
No, four. It's
Jeff.
3 years and 9 months.
So Jeffrey, how old are
8 months.
you?
I'm 42.
And Paulette.
I'm 45.
Okay.
I'll be 46 soon. And when he was entering high school, I was probably entering college. So
Well, we're grown now. You can't think of it
Yeah.
that way.
it's really a joke. I like to joke with him about it, but I haven't substantively thought about it.
Okay.
And I think the reason I haven't specifically thought about it is because he presents, very maturely,
Yeah.
and that's just been a very nice thing to have in our interactions.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. So that's the only thing that you've been like a little bit about, but it hasn't seemed like
Well,
it's presented any issues.
no, not at all, except if I mention a movie or a song, he'll say, what? Like, it's like we have a generational, little semi-generational gap here, 'cause I'm like, you don't remember that? Where were you? But, oh yeah, you were in middle school. I'm just,
That's
but,
hilarious.
yeah. No, but
Arlette,
that's, I mean,
I just don't watch a lot of movies. I don't spend time watching movies. I don't even watch TV.
Okay.
But I
We'll,
don't
we'll
get
put it
all the
on
movies.
that. We'll put it on that
Yeah,
and not the age difference.
cool. Yeah, that
yeah.
would be
But,
great.
I say that in jest. It hasn't been an issue at all.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm glad that this is looking up. I'm hoping that there'll be more trips, both ways, more dates, and I'll definitely be on the lookout, checking in on you guys, see how it's going. Are there any like personal projects or anything that you guys are working on that the viewers can tune in and support you with? Let's start with you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I have an app that I'm actually putting out to the App Store this week or next week. It's called
Oh,
Or,
nice.
and it has a or with a question mark, and it's just a game for people to play with their friends. Other than that, I got a book coming out called The Mother's Effect. It's a book about my life and growing up in poverty, not finishing high school, joining the military, going to get a PhD. Yes, I actually do have a doctorate degree, people. Paulette's not the only doctor, I'm the real doctor. I wrote the dissertation,
Oh,
right?
I got
But
two doctors in the catch up. This is amazing.
so yeah, that's it. That's all I got coming. Soon.
Okay, good. So you got a book, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, app. Wow,
yeah.
congratulations. That's a really big deal.
Hopefully it works out okay.
Yes. You said in 2 weeks. So do you
Yeah.
have a date specifically, just, in case this comes
No,
out?
no,
Not yet. Okay.
yeah, I'm just